Arnoldus Montanus was a Dutch writer and Protestant minister born around 1625 and died in 1683. He was known for his work on the New World, particularly in his book De Nieuwe en Onbekende Weereld. 2. Montanus never visited the Americas but wrote about cultures and lands he had not seen, leading to many inaccuracies in his descriptions. 3. His book featured numerous illustrations created by artists, although Montanus himself was not a painter. 4. Some artists who contributed to the illustrations associated with Montanus's writings include Johannes Blaeu, known for Maps and Atlases; Willem Blaeu, who created detailed maps; Joan Blaeu, involved in producing maps and illustrations; painter.He, an engraver and publisher; Aled Pearson, known for contributions to illustrations and maps. 5. These artists helped visualize the cultures and landscapes described in Montanus's writings. Most of the artists associated with Arnoldus Montanus, like Johannes Blaeu and painter.He, did not travel to America. They primarily created their works based on exploration reports, maps, and accounts from explorers who had visited the New World. Their illustrations were often based on second-hand information and imagination rather than personal experience in America. Their illustrations were often based on second-hand information and imagination rather than personal experience in America. The artwork created by artists like Blaeu and He was often based on second-hand information. This means they relied on accounts from explorers, travelers, and earlier writers rather than their own observations. These illustrations sometimes contained inaccuracies and fantastical elements. For instance, 1. Misrepresentation of cultures. Artists often depicted indigenous peoples in ways that were exaggerated or stereotyped, failing to accurately represent their diverse cultures and lifestyles. 2. Wildlife and landscapes. Some animals and plants were illustrated based on descriptions that may not have been accurate. For example, mythical creatures or exaggerated sizes of real animals were sometimes included. 3. Geographical errors. Maps and landscape illustrations often had inaccuracies in the depiction of coastlines, mountains, and other geographical features, as they were based on incomplete or incorrect data. 4. Costumes and customs. Clothing and customs of indigenous peoples were sometimes inaccurately portrayed, reflecting European biases and misunderstandings about their cultures. These errors contributed to a romanticized and sometimes distorted view of the New World, influencing European perceptions for years. The prefix "T" is often a contraction of "het", which means the. It can also indicate possession or a relationship to something. For example, "T" can be used in informal speech or writing to refer to the in a more casual way. Many of the paintings and illustrations created by these artists were not fully accurate representations of indigenous peoples. While some artworks aimed to capture the essence of the cultures, they often fell short due to reliance on second-hand information and European biases. Some depictions included elements of fantasy, exaggeration, or stereotypes that distorted the true nature of indigenous cultures. However, certain details in some illustrations might reflect actual aspects of indigenous life, but they were often mixed with inaccuracies. Overall, these artworks provide valuable historical insights but should be viewed critically regarding their accuracy. Artists often falsely represented indigenous peoples for several reasons. 1. Limited knowledge. Many artists had never visited the Americas and relied on explorers' accounts, leading to misunderstandings and misinterpretations. 2. Cultural bias. European perspectives often viewed non-European cultures through a biased lens, resulting in stereotypes and generalizations. 3. Artistic license. Some artists aimed to create dramatic or exotic imagery, prioritizing visual appeal over accuracy. 4. Market demand. There was a fascination with the exotic New World, leading artists to create images that catered to European interests rather than authentic representations. These factors combined contributed to a distorted portrayal of indigenous peoples in their artworks.